this is Lindsay from Fit and Fabulous, and today we are going to be talking about the 5 ways to help you lose weight and keep it off, because that can always be like the hardest part. So I know in like today's world, weight loss can be like super confusing because there's just like so much information out there. There's like so many new diets and pills and whatnot. That can be like really confusing. So I wanted to make today's video for you just to kind of like break it down, kind of give you like a good like bird's eye view of exactly like what you need to actually do to lose the weight and keep it off. So if you stay tuned, this is exactly what we're gonna be talking about in today's video. So let's just get right into the first step, and that is eating enough protein throughout the day. You're probably thinking like, okay, I already knew that, but do you really know how much protein you're actually supposed to be eating throughout the day? That's kind of like the key thing. So we are supposed to be eating at least 1 gram of protein per goal body weight. So whatever your goal body weight is, just make sure you know it's like a realistic number. So for me, my goal body weight is to be 140 pounds, which means I should be eating around 140 grams of protein throughout the day. Now you also might be thinking like, holy crap, like that seems like a ton of protein. But you know what, it's really not that much, and protein is like uber good for us, especially when you're trying to lose weight. Protein actually helps us like preserve our lean muscle mass. So when we're trying to lose weight, we all know like the calories in, calories out, right? Like obviously most of us say like, you know, just like eat less throughout the day. It's like if you eat less calories, you're gonna lose weight, right? But if you're not getting in enough protein, basically what's gonna happen is your body's gonna break down the lean muscle mass that you already have on your body, which means you're gonna have like a slower metabolism, and then you're just gonna kind of turn into like that flabby skinny person, which is what we don't want. When we lose weight, we will still wanna look like toned, and we still wanna have like a nice shape to us. So when you eat that much protein throughout the day, again, it's gonna help preserve the lean muscle mass that we already have on our body. It's actually gonna help us build more lean muscle mass, which is perfect because then it's gonna help us like increase our metabolism, right? Like the more lean muscle mass we have on our body, the higher our metabolism, because when we're just like sitting there at a resting state, say like watching TV or sleeping or whatever it is, we're actually gonna be burning more calories because our muscle basically burns more calories at a resting state. The other thing protein does is it actually helps us feel fuller longer, which is what we want, right? I'm sure that you've had like a meal before that hasn't had as much protein, and then you're still feeling like hungry after, or you're just like, I don't know, I just kind of need like something else. When we're eating enough protein throughout our meals, basically we feel satisfied, we feel good, we don't have those cravings, and we just kind of like feel less hungry throughout the day. So basically eating a proper amount of protein is gonna be huge when it comes to weight loss. Let's go on to the next step, and that is step number 2, and that is focusing on how many calories you actually should be eating throughout the day. Because we all know when we try to lose weight, we basically just like cut our calories because we're like, we're just gonna cut our calories and that's how I'm gonna lose weight. But then you're gonna be like hangry, you're gonna like lose your like muscle tone, and then you're gonna like decrease your metabolism, right? So it's kind of like a lose-lose battle. So we actually wanna focus on eating enough calories throughout the day to actually like create like good like optimum like long-term weight loss. The app that I actually use to determine like my calories and everything is what's called like the Transformation app. It's super easy to use. There's actually gonna be a link in the description, so you guys can definitely check that out. And that app will actually help you determine how many calories you should be eating throughout the day. You just have to put in a little bit of info like your height, your weight, your goal weight, your activity, you know, like all that kind of like fun stuff. And then it can kind of like spit out a number for you. Now, if you have any questions like along the way with the Transformation app or with the calories and the protein and all that kind of stuff, you can definitely reach out to me for sure. You can leave a comment, or you can just like find me on Instagram and just send me a DM. So when we actually combine these first 2 steps, which is like focusing on our protein and then focusing on how many calories we should be eating throughout the day, this is really gonna like skyrocket our results, because these 2 things are like key when it comes to weight loss. Not just weight loss, but basically having like long-term results. So these two things are like major things, definitely when it comes to weight loss. Let's go on to the third thing, and that is drinking enough water throughout the day. Now, you guys have probably heard this, like, okay, I know I should be drinking water, but really, how much water should you be drinking? That's kind of like the big question. So you really should be drinking half your body weight, like your current body weight, in ounces of water each day. Like good, clean, filtered water that you like to drink, that tastes good, you know, that kind of stuff. Now, if you have trouble drinking water, obviously you can add some of those like flavor things to it if you want to. Just be sure like you're drinking enough water. Now, if you're fairly new to like the water world, you know, because you don't really like the taste of it, you don't have to like start it like bam, like drinking that much water all at one time. You can really just kind of like start little and then just kind of build your way up. Because if not, you're pretty much gonna be in the bathroom on a consistent basis. So it's always good to kind of like start kind of slow and then basically kind of work your way up. Now, water is obviously good for like everything in our body. It like allows like our organs to function properly. It kind of like lubricates our joints. It makes us feel hydrated. Like it's just like honestly like we are made of water, so we need to drink a ton of water. Plus, if you don't drink enough water throughout the day, you're probably gonna feel hungry. Like sometimes our water and hunger cues kind of get mixed up and we're like, oh, we think we're hungry, but we're actually thirsty. So drinking enough water is basically gonna make sure that when you're hungry, you're actually hungry and not just thirsty for water, if that makes sense. The fourth step is sleep. Now, sleep is a huge thing because we wanna make sure, obviously, that we're sleeping properly, like 6 to 8 hours a night. Now, this is huge and it's crucial because if you don't sleep properly, usually you wake up and you're feeling anxious and tired. And then when you're tired, you just crave like bad, awful, sugary things. And then it just kind of like sets your body into like this motion where it's just like bad to worse pretty much. So you want to make sure that you're actually sleeping. Plus, if you don't get enough sleep, usually kind of like stress yourself out, and it produces a hormone called cortisol, which actually makes you store fat rather than burn fat. So we wanna make sure that we're not producing as much cortisol. So we wanna make sure that we're actually sleeping at night. The ways that you can actually help you sleep better at night is to basically kind of get like into like a sleep routine. So you're going to bed at the same time every night, you're waking up at the same time, and maybe only setting like one alarm, maybe like 2 alarms, like max. Because if you set multiple alarms, usually you're kind of like, you wake up during the first one and then when you press snooze, you kind of go back to sleep and it's just like that foggy sleep, and then you usually wake up and you're like more tired than you would have been if you had have actually gotten up at like the first alarm. So waking up on your first alarm would be key to help you in your sleep routine. Another thing you can do is try to like decrease kind of like your blue light at night. So whether you're on your phone or like watching TV, some people it really affects and some people it doesn't. I know for me, I'm okay with watching TV, but I know if I'm like on my phone too long, it just kind of like makes my eyes a bit wonky and whatnot, and usually like I can't sleep right away, and usually I'm actually an okay sleeper. So really kind of pinpoint like if you're having issues with your sleep, exactly what the issues are. And I mean, if it comes down to it, you can always take like say like an over-the-counter kind of remedy to help you sleep, whether it's melatonin or whatever it is. So sleep is super important when it comes to losing weight. And the last step, that is step number 5, and that is getting in more movement throughout the day. Now, the way I like to look at these steps is basically, obviously you have like your foundation steps, and as it goes on, it's not that it's less important, but it's something that you shouldn't focus on like at the very beginning. Now with movement, when you're kind of starting out in your weight loss journey, a lot of people think like, oh my God, I need to go to CrossFit, or I need to do like an hour and a half of like working out at the gym like every day, like intense, or like going on the treadmill for however long. Now, I feel like that's just gonna like ultimately stress you out, because sometimes like people's schedules don't actually like work with those kind of like workouts and whatnot. So like in my mind, as long as you're getting your body moving and doing some sort of activity, that is gonna be like a bonus for you. So whether it's going for a walk, or whether it's like maybe going swimming, or whether it's just like playing with your kids, or maybe a bike ride, or whatever it is, it's got to be something that you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're probably not going to keep doing it. But as long as you're getting like 10 minutes, say like half an hour, like there's no like specific time, but as long as you kind of like get your body moving, you're just going to feel so much better. So that is the 5 steps to help you lose weight and keep it off. So if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments section down below. I hope this was like informative. These are things that I've been using in my weight loss journey, and then basically I kind of like abide by. So these are basically things that I wanted to share with you because like I was saying before, the weight loss industry can be so freaking confusing, like insanely confusing. So I hope you have an amazing day. And again, any questions or anything, let me know in the comment section down below. And I hope you have an amazing day. Love you. Bye.